Hey everyone, Mrs. Klein here. This is April, week 4, day 1, and this is the summary video for those of you who read the story with me, Sarah the Gull. Okay, so we're going to get my summary graphic organizer that I like to use. We've been working all month on writing summaries. Let's just kind of review here. What is a summary? Some of you aren't answering me. What is a summary? It's telling the beginning, middle, and end of the story. It's summarizing it. It is not giving too much detail. It is telling just a little blurb from the beginning, middle, and end of the story, okay? Remember, I don't think I have a book with me right now. Remember how I showed you last week, you can have a thick chapter book, and on the back, it gives one little paragraph to tell you what the entire book is about. Even though the book is like 200 pages long, on the back, it only has one little paragraph to show, to tell the reader what it's about. That's what you're going to do. You're going to write one little paragraph to tell what this story, Sarah the Gull, is about. We're not going to write 5 paragraphs or however long the passage was. We're just going to write one little paragraph that has about 5 sentences in it to tell what the story was about. Okay, so the summary just gives the main events that happened, but not too much detail. So let's see here. The title for this story was Sarah the Gull. Oops, I had a typo. Sarah the Gull. Characters. This was actually fictional, even though seagulls and birds do migrate. This was a made-up story because the birds were actually characters. So Sarah and her mom. Okay, so now we're going to tell what happens at the beginning, what happens at the middle, and what happens at the end. We're going to give a summary of this text and tell what it is mostly about in this summary, giving a little snapshot of what happened at the beginning of the story, what happened at the middle of the story, and what happened at the end of the story. A lot of you guys are wanting to give all of the detail. If I wanted all the detail, I would just read the passage. I want a summary so I don't have to read the whole passage. And so I can tell if you guys got the main parts when you were reading. Do you understand the main parts of what you read? Can you retell me what happened without telling me every single detail? Okay, so in the beginning, what happens? What's going on in the beginning of the story? Yeah, and I'm even going to start it that way this time. In the beginning, yeah, Sarah and, oh my goodness, I'm having some major typing issues. Sarah and her mom are seagulls living in New York. Notice I capitalized New York because it's a proper name. Okay, so then what? What starts to happen? Yeah, they eat fish from the ocean. Where else did they get their food? They eat fish from the ocean, and food people throw. Mrs. Klein. And food people throw away. Good. Yeah, we need to tell, this is part of the middle story. We need to tell about the weather and how it starts getting colder, right? Okay, so it starts to get cold and is difficult for them to find food, right? And it's difficult for difficult to find food. Okay, then what happens as a result of that? What do they do? What do Sarah and her mom do? Yes, they migrate south. It doesn't use that word in this story, but we know that word. But you don't have to write that if you don't want. So Sarah and her mom fly south to Florida, where it is warmer or colder? Warmer, where it is warmer. Good. To live during the winter. They can find shelter here. Good. You need to put that part because that part's important. But we don't need to tell that they're going to plan to go back, that they found a new roof to sleep under, that they're excited about their new home. We don't have to tell all of those details, okay? This is just the basic thing. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sentences here. In the beginning, Sarah and her mom are seagulls living in New York. They eat fish from the ocean and food people throw away. It starts to get cold and it's difficult to find food. Sarah and her mom fly south to Florida, where it is warmer to live during the winter. They can find food and shelter here. Okay, so let me remind you, when you go to write your paragraph, you are going to want to take your paper and you are going to start on the top line, but you are going to indent. Remember, your first sentence you're going to indent. Then you will write to the end, and then you will come back and you will actually start your next line right at the red line, okay? So you're not going to indent every line, only the first line. And if your sentence ends here, guess what? You're going to start writing your next sentence right here until you get to the end, and then you'll come back down, okay? So I don't want it listed out 5 sentences. I want it in a paragraph. Okay, I will talk to you guys later. Love and hugs. Bye.